we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history. This is
Iowa Pig Farmers Care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
It has become something of a lost art, remembering someone's face, remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't. It has become something of a lost art, remembering someone's face, remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines as we get ready for more state tournament basketball action. Dar Danielson alongside Joe Danielson as we get ready to bring you our second quarterfinal in Class 3A. Number 4, Davenport Assumption against number 5, North Polk. And Joe, these 4-5 seeds, they seem to be a little closer in what we've seen in this tournament so far, and a little tighter ball games. And that maybe, maybe, I guess just the seeding way it goes there, but this should be another interesting matchup here too.
Yep, and you look at the records here, Davenport Assumption at 16-8, but if you look into their schedule, 7 of those 8 losses were to teams that were ranked in the top 15 in the higher conference, 4A and 5A. So they've played a tough schedule.
So playing up classes and playing a little tougher schedule there.
Yep, and the North Polk Comets are back here for the first time since 2008, so their fan base is excited for 10 years.
It's been a decade, and they have one of the biggest pep bands I've ever seen down there on the far end. And so everybody's turning out today to see North Polk, and not really that far to go for North Polk Comets to come down here.
Yep, and like you said, a decade of time is a long time to wait to get back, and I'm sure the coaches and fans and everybody in North Polk's pretty excited here.
So who are some of the players you see we're going to be looking at today?
Well, for North Polk, they're led by freshman phenom Maggie Phipps, averaging 16.5 a game, and that's just something you really don't see on most of these high school levels at all. For a freshman to be able to come in, lead a team in scoring, and not only lead the team in scoring, but score on a team with 21 wins is even more impressive.
Yep.
And then for the Knights, pretty balanced scoring across the way, and a lot of height. Their shortest player, point guard, is 5'6", and after that, everybody's 5'7" and above, and got a 6-footer, add Allie Timmons at the forward spot, so rebounding is going to be a big strength for them here today.
Yeah, sometimes, we say size matters. Sometimes we've seen a lot of players that aren't over 6 foot play well, but when you have a lot of those players, tall players, and that length, it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes a difference on the rebounding off the glass, and then you can start the break if you have a tall player to grab a rebound and throw a quick outlet there.
And then also anchoring that defense back, especially for pressing. You can press, and then you have that big stopper in the back end of that press in case they do get through you.
Right, and we've seen a couple teams run a zone with a tall center down in the paint, and it's really clogged up what teams are trying to do here today so far.
Yeah, and you look at it here. I had it on the tip of my points per game, 57.5 for Assumption, and the points per game, 54.8 for North Polk. So not a big swing there when you look at their offensive averages, is there?
Yep, and you know, both teams have 2 players averaging in double figures. Nobody's has crazy numbers like we have seen here with a couple of teams where you have girls averaging 25, 30 a game. It's more a little balanced scoring for both these teams.
Well, this is the second quarterfinal in this bracket. The winner will play Crestwood, who went on to an easy win today and went to 24-0 against South Tama 66-28 in our first ball game here today in Class 3A quarterfinal. Then the winner of this one, we said, will play in the semifinal Thursday at 5 against Crestwood. Then Clear Lake and Monticello will go at it here at 3:15, the 3 and 6 seed, and then the number 2 seed in Sioux Center takes on the number 7 seed Red Oak, and that rounds out your Class 3A tournament pairings there as we will get down through 3A here, and then we'll drop into 2A as we finish up in the rest of the evening session tonight here. And getting ready to go over to our public address announcer for the starting lineups, and we'll have that coming up here in just a second as the teams come out. And kind of shifting the crowd in. Looks like a good North Polk contingent in the crowd here behind us. And across the way is Davenport Assumption. Of course, a little longer ride for them. Come all the way from the east side of the state. And so let's go now for public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa for today's 2018 IGHSAU Iowa Farm Bureau Girls State Basketball 3A quarterfinal matchup featuring the number 5 seed, the North Polk Comets, and the number 4 seed from Davenport, the Assumption Catholic Knights. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by North Polk High School and the Assumption Catholic High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Karen Brown of the IGHSAU will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From North Polk High School, Robert Muellenthaler. And from Assumption Catholic High School, Luis Arango. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Always fun to see the fans that they honor here. It's part of sportsmanship, and we're just about ready to.
Basketball fans, it's now time to introduce the players for today's 3A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches from the visiting team from North Polk. Number 12, Abby Zimmer. Number 20, Danielle Lonowitz. Number 24, Anna Foster. Number 25, Carolyn Steffen. Number 33, Sydney Alba. Number 34, Kelly Huppert. Number 40, Sierra McLeod. And number 44, Maddie Bruggeman. Your assistant coaches, Mark Muellenthaler and Alex Bullmeyer. Now here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the home team from Assumption Catholic. Number 3, Caroline Crosby. Number 10, Katie Anderson. Number 11, Natalie Moore. Number 12, Lauren Herrick. Number 13, Olivia Wardlow. Number 14, Sully Kelly. Number 22, Delaney Brown. Number 32, Corey Whitlock. Number 33, Grace Jacobson. And number 35, Anna Wohlers. Your assistant coaches, Mike Tisson and Brian Klusterman. And now, Here are your starters for today's 3A quarterfinal. For North Polk, number 10, Becca Lane. For Assumption Catholic, number 2, Bailey Brown. For the Comets, number 11, Katie Scott. For the Knights, number 5, Molly Gervais. For North Polk, number 21, Katie Brown. For Assumption Catholic, number 20, Carly Brown. For the Comets, number 23, Jaden Murphy. For the Knights, number 23, Allie Timmons. And for North Polk, number 32, Maggie Phipps. For Assumption Catholic, number 24, Hannah Wislander. Your head coaches for North Polk, Clint Albertson. For Assumption Catholic, Caitlin McNamara. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the scores bench.
Well, we can't forget the officials.
Quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Joshua Rager, Tobias Lunsford, Brian Gibson, and Gregory N. All right, who's ready for tournament basketball?
Okay, we got the officials in and we're ready to go. Davenport Assumption number 4 against North Polk number 5 in this Class 3A quarterfinal here on CISN.TV. Thanks for watching in today. As we get ready to tip it up. Jaden Murphy, Allie Timmons, and it's tapped back to North Polk. And goes out of bounds right away back to North Polk. Comets in black, Assumption in the white uniforms here. Lob into the post and stripped away but picked up and then blocked down there by Allie Timmons.
Yeah,
so
nice hand up for Allie Timmons.
6-footer making her presence known early, Joe. Throw it out long to Katie Scott. Right side, they're looking down low to Jaden Murphy inside. And there's a 3, no good, and Murphy's gonna get called for the foul on, she fouled Allie Timmons, I believe.
Carly Brown's going to inbound it here, and the Davenport Assumption Knights actually have a squad of triplets on their team. 3 seniors, all sisters. 2 starting, Bailey and Carly, and Delaney Brown will come off the bench.
So, saved in. So they could get a triple-double if all of them get in and score, right? Or something like that, or
some sort of stat.
A triplet double or something like that. Here's a rebound and a tie-up will go to Assumption.
There's a nice drive there by Maggie Phipps, and you can kind of see a 5'10" guard, and she's pretty quick with her height also.
Now here comes Molly Gervais. Lobs it down low. Nice look underneath there.
Carly Brown with that nice back cut.
And Assumption's on the board first. Almost stripped away there. And a scramble on the baseline. It's going to go to Assumption.
Yeah, I think Timmons probably should have went up with that ball, just took one too many dribbles and lost it out of bounds.
Here comes Assumption. Carly Brown on the wing. Up top for 3, a long 3 is off. And they'll get it back out. Taken away by Katie Brown. Lob down inside, shot blocked, put back up, and taken out of there.
Yep, the putback was blocked again, I believe.
Bailey Brown comes up with it for Assumption.
She'll take that quick three.
It's a three.
Yep.
And a quick 5-0 lead here for Assumption with 2 minutes gone in the first quarter.
And she kind of showed there she's not afraid to take those long threes, and her second attempt goes in.
That's her 49th three of the year, shooting about 34% from three-point range. There's a drive and a foul.
Kind of going back to the stats, both Bailey and Carly Brown are among the tournament leaders in made three-pointers so far. So a twin connection there.
So Timmons with the foul. Her first team first. Here's the drive, gets it stripped away. Outside for three, no good. Rebound, battled for, put back up and good by Katie Scott.
Katie Scott for 2.
Gets North Polk on the board. And foul called. Hannah Wislander, her first personal and the second on the team there.
Yep, a little jostling for position down low on the block.
So North Polk comes down, trailing by 3. Chance to tie it up or cut it to 1, and knocked away, taken away there by Carly Brown. And goes out of bounds. I'm going to be confused here because you got Bailey and Carly Brown on Davenport, and you got Katie Brown from North Polk. A lot of Browns on the floor here. They get it into Bailey Brown. That's the senior. And Molly Gervais. North Polk in the man defense. And gets it down on the floor. Keeps with it. Nice job by Hannah Wislander to keep with that one.
Yep, once Wislander secured the ball, she found herself wide open for the layup.
Back to a 5-point lead and diving out for it, and then a tie-up, and that'll stay with North Polk.
Yeah, good aggressive play there to get to the passing lanes from Bailey Brown and Molly Gervais for the Knights.
So Becca Lay will inbound it right here in front of us. And back to action. Katie Scott with it. In the corner for 3. No good. Rebound comes out, and wow. Allie Timmons and Molly Gervais just kind of looked at each other. Nobody took it right away.
Yep, communication there is key.
Yeah, they'll pull it out. Gervais will reset it. Calls the play she wants. Got too low, too high up here. To the wing, now into the post. Turn around, up, off the glass, gets her own rebound, and somehow pulled through without getting it tied up. Wislander, and here comes North Polk. Back across court. Boy, Assumption's really reacted quickly, aren't they, on the outside. Turn around in the lane, and it's going to go. The bucket and the foul for Jaden Murphy. And
number 12, Abby Zimmer, and number 25, Carolyn Steffen will check in for the North Polk Comets.
I think that was a second on Allie Timmons, wasn't it? So she completes the three-point play. Or yeah, that's second on Allie Timmons. And it's 7-5.
Gervais just kind of dribbles the ball into the corner and loses it there. It'll be North Polk's ball.
So North Polk kind of settling down a little bit here.
Yep, both teams pretty patient so far. Slow offense, getting into a set and running a play.
Over the top and a little too much there as Carolyn Steffen couldn't handle it. So what Abby Zimmer and Carolyn Steffen came in last time down the floor. So here comes Assumption with a 2-point lead. And shot is short. Pulled down by Phipps. And she gets it stripped away and now stripped back, and now it's on the floor and picked up by Assumption. And Gervais brings it back over, and stepping in, almost getting the steal, was Murphy. Out for three, no good, and the long rebound comes out to Wislander. Now in the block. Get it back out. And they'll reset it.
Yeah, they're pretty patient on offense so far. Definitely looking to run a play and get something from their sets.
And was looking for the backdoor cut, knocked away, and then she got it back. But now North Polk comes out of there with it. Zimmer up the floor. There's a three, no good. Long three, gets her own rebound, and then gets fouled. Maggie Phipps.
Yep, good hustle play there too. She didn't run back. She stayed with it and got her own rebound.
Wislander gets the foul.
Delaney Brown will sub in for Hannah Wislander for the Knights. So
and that's 14 fouls on Assumption. Long outlet pass. Over to Jaden Murphy. She dribbles across. Drive is partially blocked on the shot, I believe. She gets her own ball off the block and somehow keeps alive Abby Zimmer down low. Bounce pass inside, and the foul called on Carly Brown, I think. It's her first 15 foul. Murphy to the line, 70% free throw shooter, and gets a little roll there. And
Katie Scott will come back in for the North Polk Comets.
Murphy now has 5 of the 7 North Polk points. And we have our first tie of the day, or second, I guess. We were tied at 2-2. Or no, we weren't tied at 2-2, so that is the first tie. And that was knocked out of bounds.
Substitutions for Assumption Catholic.
And you got Lauren Herrig and Olivia Wardlow in for Assumption. And Assumption wants to take a timeout. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
And here, we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger. And together, we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
And Assumption will have the ball after the timeout. 1:33 to play here. Tie ball game. The drive and the bucket will go.
Basket's good.
Carly Brown with a nice little scoop layup there.
Number 23 for North Polk, Jaden Murphy, her second personal.
Jaden Murphy, her second personal, and just a second team foul on North Polk. Carly Brown shooting just a shade over 82% for the free throw line. As shot out no good on the free throw. And Assumption up 2. Spinning back inside, kicking it out for 3. Good! By Carolyn Steffen. And North Polk takes the lead back by 1. Here's Assumption with it. And out of bounds.
more active hands play by both teams so far. North Polk, good D, jumping in the passing lanes and having their hands up for those steals.
Good rotation for three, no good, short. Rebound picked out of there by Assumption. Now going into the post, and a push called underneath. And if that's Murphy.
I believe that's on Phipps.
Or is it Phipps? Okay.
Yep.
I was about to say, if that was on Murphy, that was going to be her third, but it's Phipps' first.
And she'll get subbed out for Katie Brown coming back in.
Okay. An Assumption. It's just a third team foul on North Polk, so they'll take it inbounds. Gervas with it. Being patient on offense. Out to Gervas. Crossover. Back up top, just kind of weaving through. There's kind of throws a shot up off the glass and rebounded by North Polk. Stefan.
Facing
almost
some pressure, yeah.
You turn a little pressure on. Now they get it quick down the other way. Baseline jumper rattles out, no good, and then the foul. Stefan on the rebound for North Polk.
Fouls on North Polk, number 25, Carolyn Stefan.
Stefan's first. Just the fourth team foul on North Polk. So here's Assumption with the ball and a one-point deficit. And a little pressure there up top. And a block. Man, a hard block at the buzzer.
Yeah, Abby Zimmer, the freshman, got her hand up and just would not allow that shot to be even get off.
So it'll be 10-9 North Polk after one. We'll take a break, come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
We bring you live uninterrupted coverage of the state champions in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus special features highlighting the Iowa girls. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or IPTV.org.
Doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Back here at Wells Fargo Arena, see some of the North Polk fans. They're happy after a quarter. They have a 1-point lead. But nobody really stepping out and separating anything here too early in that typical first quarter we've seen here in the tournament so far, Joe.
Yeah, both teams kind of feeling each other out, getting the jitters off here in their first state tournament game. 9 fouls from both teams, 5 for North Polk, 4 for Assumption, and what are the turnover numbers looking like also there?
4 apiece for them.
Yep, and that's kind of what we expected here. The
North Polk shooting 23%, Assumption 28%, so not a blistering shooting percentage on either team yet here.
Well, both teams have been playing pretty strong defense, and they've also been patient.
There's a nice good look into the post there to Allie Timmons. And Assumption takes the lead back by 1. Biggest lead has been 5, and that was early on by Assumption when they got the first 5 points.
And Assumption will come out here in a 3-2 zone, 2-3 zone.
2-3, yeah. Mixing it up a little bit. Driving all the way through, and a jump ball called as Phipps drove right into Timmons. And North Polk keeps possession of it. Under their own bucket. Run the play, and now they throw it to the corner. Katie Scott gets it back up top. Back to Scott. Down the lane and put back in the foul. Lang. Becca Lay got it. And Timmons with the second personal, 16th foul.
Yep, and that could, those fouls, if Assumption gets into the bonus, that could be a factor here. And what has been a slower game, let's slow the game down even more while scoring points.
Well, the old-fashioned three-point play puts North Polk up by 2.
A nice drive there from Lauren Herrig. Kind of split the two defenders, got up in the air, and couldn't quite get the layup to fall.
Also number 25 for North Polk, Carolyn Steffen, her second personal, 15 foul.
Carolyn Steffen with the foul. The free throw's no good.
Lauren Herrig shooting 2. Checking in for the Comets, number 45, and for the Knights,
North Polk
Grace Jacobson.
to Maddie Brookman checking in for them, number 44.
Second free throw's off. Rebound fought for and pulled out of there by Maddie Bruggeman. North Polk quickly up the floor, but they called for travel there as Katie Brown took a little bit of a low pass and then tried to shuffle her feet to get them set, and they called her for the travel.
Yep, and yeah, Katie Brown's got a nice looking shot in the corner there. Hasn't got one to fall yet, but both of her attempts have looked good.
Well, here's Assumption back with it, trailing by 2. That's the biggest lead that North Polk has had in the game. Lob inside, knocked away, and it'll stay with Assumption. But getting the ball in the post, it's not an easy score, is it? The defense playing pretty tough in there.
Yep, and all those passing lanes close pretty fast with North Polk's defense.
Here's Assumption drive. Oh, lost the handle on it. I don't know if it went off her foot, but back the other way with it up. And good. Katie Scott.
Yep, a nice finesse finish there. She didn't lose control and laid it right off the glass.
And a 4-point lead for North Polk now, their biggest of the game. Foul inside. Push from behind, I believe, is going to be called on Becca Lay.
North Polk foul on number 10, Becca Lay, her
First.
16
foul here.
Both teams have 6 fouls, but they're kind of spreading it out. Nobody has more than 2.
Except for Bailey Brown. I think she had 3, didn't she? She went to the bench. And there's a drive and a foul. And just do we say that, we get a foul.
I'll put Assumption on the line for the 1-and-1.
Becca Lay gets her second. Brown to the line. Carly Brown hits the first one. And you see Bailey Brown there. She'll get the second free throw. Up and good. Back down to a 2-point lead for North Polk with the ball. Number 5 against number 4 here in the 3A quarterfinal. Winner faces Crestwood. Well, there's a 3. High bounce, didn't go back in on the bounce down, and it's picked up down there by Molly Gervais. We'll hear from Doug Sickles, the Crestwood head coach, at halftime. Here's a long 3, and the rebounded, and then there's a battle for it, and pulled it out of there is Herrig. Now on the drive, and is it partially blocked?
Yep, good play by Maggie Phipps to not take the pump fake and then go up for the block.
And then Phipps down there. I tell you one thing about Phipps, she takes it to the basket without stopping when she gets down there.
Yep, she's a slashing guard. And to be that aggressive as a freshman is pretty impressive on this team. A team that boasts 6 seniors.
Maggie Phipps at the line, she'll be shooting the bonus. She'll shoot 1.
It misses the front end of the 1-and-1 there. And Assumption back down again. There's a 3, no good. Rebound and a tie up. And that'll stay with Assumption. Man, every rebound's getting contested down there, isn't it? You can't just stand there and think you're going to pull it down.
Yeah, but when they take those long threes, it's going to be a long rebound, and that's going to
Comes
give
up
both
high,
teams
isn't
a chance.
Yeah. Oh, that looked like a travel, but no. And finally, North Polk comes out of there. Katie Scott, she'll take it all the way down. Look to throw it back out to Phipps. And Phipps drives, leaves it short. Rebound off to Carolyn Crosby. And Crosby splits the defense right down the middle.
Nice driving basket
And we're tied up.
by Bailey Brown.
Excuse me, that was Bailey Brown, not Crosby. That was 2, not 3.
Yep, and Grace Jacobson there, the senior, in position to take the charge, and she's a nice little boost off the bench for the Knights, averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds.
Number 20, Danielle Bonowitz. 23, Jaden Murphy. 25, Carolyn Steffen.
Lob over the top. Sends it back outside. Brown spins up. She caught that on her hip as she came around there.
Up and they got her for the travel. Again, North Polk is not in any hurry. They want to set up a play here and then run their cuts and get movement on offense.
A lot of movement through the lane, cutting through. Back out. Here's the drive and draws the foul. I think that was it Grace Jacobson?
Yep, Grace Jacobson down there. Foul on Abby Zimmer, who is also a freshman. So you have 2 freshmen for North Polk playing significant minutes here in the state tournament.
Herrig shoots that one through, gets her first point of the day, and breaks the tie. She'll get another one. And misses. And here's Assumption. Down by 1. Drive and goes by Bailey Brown. Boy, she's got some vertical height and can really stretch and contort her body when she gets up in the air, can't she?
Yep, and a good jumping ability, too.
And that one goes in off the hands of Jaden Murphy.
Substitution for Assumption, number 32, Corey Whitlock.
Corey Whitlock in for Assumption, replacing Grace Jacobson. So you're trading a 5'8" senior for a 6-foot sophomore. Get a little more size in there. Here comes Assumption. Drive and the bucket is good.
Carly Brown for 2 for Assumption.
Carly Brown. Davenport up by 3 now. Oh, everybody just parted and left the lane open there.
Yep, and Allie Timmons, Jaden Murphy for the comments. Down on the other end, a quick 3 in the corner from Bailey Brown again is just a little strong.
And here comes North Polk back. Murphy looked at the 3, now drives in and loses the ball. There's a scramble again, and we'll stay with North Polk.
Yep, active hands from Bailey Brown. Kind of reached in and poked the ball away and forced the jump. Both teams are in the bonus here, so going forward, there will be free throw shot on any foul.
There's a 3, no good. Rebound, kicks it back out for 3, good! by Carolyn Steffen. And North Polk.
And Brown travels there.
Timeout by Assumption. North Polk 21-19 with 1:46 to play in the first half. We'll take a break and be back with more after this.
Arrived at the all-new Fireplace Superstore. Drop in and check out all the new 2017 patio furniture. At Fireplace Superstore, you will find Central Iowa's most complete outdoor furniture selection for your deck and patio, including gas and charcoal grills, fire pits, and wicker furniture. Get in on the early spring savings going on now. Fireplace Superstore has been creating your outdoor style for over 35 years. Fireplace Superstore just west of Homemakers on Douglas in Urbandale.
Back here at Wells Fargo Arena, the North Polk Pep Band playing here. Getting a little time on the big screen at Wells Fargo. Dar Danielson, Joe Danielson. And, well, Joe, just a back and forth matchup here so far in this first half. No team really stretching it out too much, and some of that's good defense, and then very deliberate offenses on both teams, too.
Yep, they're not really looking to push the ball either, and there's been no half-court, full-court press of any sort. And they're, both teams are looking to set up and run a play and get the ball inside and kick it out.
So here comes North Polk with a 2-point lead.
And Assumption will sit back in their 2-3 zone that they've ran here.
Rotated over. Across the top to Katie Scott. Now back over. And looking for the cutter through, lobs it inside. Comes through, leaves it a little short. Jaden Murphy took it in there against Corey Whitlock. Jumper is good, the three from the left side. Carolyn Crosby. And that gives the lead back to Assumption.
I'll get a foul on Bailey Brown there. Will be her second.
Okay, personal on Bailey Brown.
Both teams in the bonus.
9th team foul here.
Danielle Bonowitz at the line. She'll shoot the bonus.
Bonowitz at the line.
Before we have a substitution, 44, Maddie Klugman for North Polk.
To shoot the 1 and 1 here.
Again, Danielle Bonowitz at the line. She'll shoot the bonus. She'll shoot one.
And misses it, so unable to capitalize there on the free throws. And here comes Assumption with under a minute to play in the first half. Leading by 1. Their biggest lead was 5 at the start of the game. And there's a steal out front. Zimmer goes up and gets the bucket.
Stealing basket by Abby Zimmer.
And that's a nice move from the freshman Zimmer. Jumped the passing lane and finished strong with the layup.
So 30 seconds to go, and a turnover as Carolyn Crosby couldn't tightrope it over there on the pass. And now here, Joe, North Polk has a chance to build on the 1-point lead with the final 25 seconds. I'd say maybe they'd shoot for one, but they've been taking a lot of time with their possessions just normally, haven't they?
Yep, but I mean, the 25 seconds is just right about how long they've been taking to kind of get set and get a shot off, and I think they're going to look to take it into halftime with an extended lead, more than a 1-possession lead.
So Scott with it, Katie Scott. Dishes it over. Now across to Katie Brown. Back up to Katie Brown for 3. Good at the buzzer! It'll count. Katie Brown.
And that's a big shot from Brown to put North Polk Comets up by 4 points. Is that the largest lead of today in a back-and-forth game in this first half?
Largest lead for them today. Davenport led by 5. They scored the first 5 points. But let's see if we get it. We'll see if we get a replay here on that. And let's see. I thought they might get a replay coming up, but no, it doesn't look like it. Well, let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll take a break, come back, and check out the first half scoring after this on CISN.TV.
Visit one of the booths on the main concourse during halftime.
Of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history. This is
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Price event, Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 18 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. Power price, $99 per month lease. $99 per month. New 18 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. $219 per month lease. 18 Equinox, $199 per month lease. New 18 Cruise LTs, $18,790. Hurry in for best selection. The Power Price event. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena. Our halftime score 26-22. North Polk over Davenport Assumption. Dar Danielson here, and joining me is the head coach of Crestwood, Doug Sickles. And well, you want to come out and have a good game in the first round of the tournament, and that this you came out and everything just seemed to click and really well, and you go on to a 66-28 win today, Coach.
Yeah, I was extremely pleased with the start of the game, and you know, I thought the kids really executed our game plan real well.
Sometimes you get ahead in the game like that, and you start getting sloppy, and you take it for granted. But you didn't seem to do that too much, did you?
Well, I took a timeout at the beginning of the fourth. We had 3 turnovers in a row, and then I think we settled back in. These kids have played long enough. I hope that they know that every possession counts.
You come in number 1 seed, and always, that's a little bit of a target, and we've seen a couple already in the other classes go down. So was that anything you talked about at all, or, coming into it?
Well, last year we got beat out first round, but we knew we were having majority of team come back, and we kind of took what the Cubs did a couple years ago, and we said we're going to embrace the target instead of run away from it. And everybody asked me, aren't you afraid to be number 1? And I said, well, I'd rather be number 1 than 36.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
that beats the alternative.
That
of
beats
being
the
at the
alternative.
bottom.
That's right. So, and I've been there before. So I'm okay with it, and the kids are okay with it.
Yeah, and then along with that, you have the undefeated season, and sometimes that gets to be more of a drag than it is anything else. But did you talk about that at all, or is that just something that?
We really, senior dominated team. So, for the most part, I think the girls will think today's over with. They're up there watching. We don't know which team will win here this game, but they're just kind of focused on their teammates and tomorrow.
One thing seems like you have a really good balance, inside outside overall, don't you?
Yeah, I think I was asked, what maybe the difference between some of my ball clubs that have been down here before and this one. They trust each other and they don't care who shoots, and certain other teams I've had, and in a lot of places, you run sets for certain kids. We really don't have to do that as much, so that's a good feeling as a coach.
Well, looking at this game here, whoever you face, you're going to face a team that gets in your face and plays some defense, don't they?
Yeah, both teams do, and offensively they're going to dribble drive you, so you better be ready to play on both ends of the court, and but that's what you expect when you come down here. You don't expect anything else, and hopefully we'll be up to that challenge.
Well, that first one, it's cliche, but you got to win that first one to move on. And there's always, I've seen, I don't care, like, 5A, all the teams were back again, but there were still nerves and things because you have different players and it's a different team because of what you lose and what you add and all that. So that first game is always one that I imagine as a coach you worry just a little bit about.
Oh, yeah. I watched tape, like every other coach, and, I felt pretty good coming into the game, but you still wake up in the morning with apprehension and saying, what happens if this happens or this happens, or, or how the kids perform. So yeah, you wake up with those nerves, and you just never know when you put your hands in 17, 8-year-old kids, the game into that. So I thought the kids came out.
Yeah, but you build a trust with them all year and kind of work with them and build to this point. So you gotta feel good about that too, whatever happens, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of the worrywart of our coaching staff, and my assistants say, trust your kids and trust who you have, and and sometimes you're just too close to it and you don't realize what you have. My focus is on the next game and hopefully preparing them, and sometimes you don't get a step back.
Yeah. Well, what's your schedule now that you're moving on? What's the next couple days? What do you do to prepare for the next game?
Well, girls we'll finish watching this game, and then the girls have already been texting me where they want to eat, and then tomorrow morning or tomorrow hopefully we'll do something at the Capitol or something, make it educational, but we'll also get a practice in, and not overly hard one, but you got to go through their stuff, and get some shooting in, and and just enjoy each other's company, put the cell phones down for a little while and just talk to each other,
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. You get down here and sometimes I'm sitting there and it seems like these games go by in a blink, and it's probably more so for coaches and players too, and you're so focused on playing and sometimes you don't get to enjoy it. But it is nice to take that time, isn't it?
And I totally agree with what you just said. It just seems like 5 minutes ago I was going to sit down and prepare for the game, and now I'm over here, and and that's how the week will be. All of a sudden you'll be driving home from Des Moines saying, "Wow," but that's how it is.
All right. Well, we got the first win today over South Tama. You meet the winner of this one on Thursday in the semifinals at 5 o'clock, right back here on CISN.TV. Thanks for joining us, Coach Doug Sickles, and good luck in the next round.
Yeah, appreciate it very much.
All right, we'll take a break here. We'll be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
For the Seal, it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau Seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the Seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the Seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know, just the opportunities I've had, the people I've met,
Back here at Wells Fargo Arena, the halftime score 26-22, North Polk over Davenport Assumption. Joe Danielson along with Dar Danielson here. And what do you see in those first half stats that steps out or looks out at you, Joe?
Well, it was a back and forth game, kind of sloppy there. Both teams have more turnovers than assists, and the shots haven't exactly started falling for either team so far. Kind of a lower scoring, more slow it down paced game, which kind of leads to tell me that free throws are going to be a pretty big factor in this first half. They were in the second half. They were in the first half here with North Polk hitting 5 of 8 and Davenport Assumption going 2 of 5 from the line, but they were both into the bonus pretty early, late first quarter, early second quarter there.
I do see, though, that they did pick up both shooting in 28, 23%, but that picked up to 54% and 45% shooting from the floor in the second quarter. Overall, North Polk 37.5% and Davenport Assumption 36%. So slow first quarters, picked up a little bit in the second quarter, and no team got a lead any bigger than I think it was Assumption had 5-point lead early on, and North Polk, their biggest lead has been 4. So it's going to be a tight one here.
Yep, 7 lead changes in the first half. It's going to go ahead and indicate. I'm sure they're going to trade baskets. They have been all game, and that first half, first game down at Wells Fargo, you have some young players for North Polk and players that haven't quite been here on this stage, kind of shaking the rust off. I think we're going to probably see a cleaner second half here.
That's interesting talking with the Crestwood coach, and he said, yeah, even though we know, coming in, that first game, that first quarter is always just a little bit getting, your sea legs and getting ready to play here in the tournament.
Yeah, and then for an undefeated team, that has tournament experience, to say that, it's true for every team.
So getting ready to go here. The teams are back out. Looks like Bailey Brown, Molly Javaz, Carly Brown, Allie Timmons, and Hannah Wislander for Assumption, Becca Lay, Katie Scott, Katie Brown, Jaden Murphy, and Maggie Phipps to start it out here for North Polk, and a foul right away.
Allie Timmons, strong, going up strong with it there down low.
And Becca Lay, her third personal, first team foul, and Timmons to the free throw line. Timmons had 2 points in the first half.
Carolyn Steffen with the quick substitution in here for Becca Lay.
And 2 free throws open the scoring here in the third and make it a 2-point ball game once again for North Polk. Katie Scott dribbles across the top. And back off, reverse it over. Looking for a little screen there, and I'll kick it out. On the drive, Murphy up and good.
Up and Murphy kind of saw the defender and just lofted it right over on soft off the glass.
And Murphy leading scorer in the game now with 9 points.
Yep, and North Polk
in on the block, up, and a battle for to go back to North Polk. Allie Timmons in the move inside and battled Murphy for that rebound, but it came off to North Polk.
Yep,
or that was Wislander, excuse me.
Yep, the Comets inside there did a better job on Timmons. They had 2 defenders on her that time.
Into the inside, now driving down the lane, puts it up into 3 defenders, and it comes off to Davenport Assumption. Gervais kicks it over left side. Now back around, looking down in the post, get it in there, kick it out. Oh, trying to bounce past it across, and it's off the feet of North Polk.
Yep, Brown kind of telegraphed that pass a little bit.
There's a 3 away, no good, by Katie Brown for North Polk. Lob into the post again, now back outside. And Carly Brown couldn't decide to shoot it or drive. She drives and gets a block by Murphy. Driving all the way under, reverse layup isn't going to go. There by Phipps. And back up top for a 3, good! A long 3 by Bailey Brown. And she makes it a 1-point ball game. Bailey Brown now with 10 points. First player in double figures here. in this ball game. Up top, reverse it over. Phipps for three. Good!
And that's going to be big for North Polk to get Phipps going after she didn't convert in the first half, and that's going to be good for her, too, to get some confidence to see that ball go in.
Yeah, she just got 3 points. That's her first points. She's averaging 16 and a half. And North Polk back up by 4. Looking to get inside again. They do, and blocked away. Murphy, another block. And North Polk quickly down the floor, off no good, and it'll stay with North Polk. As now they're going to talk it over.
That'll be Murphy's 3rd block of the game also, so she's been real active down there.
Yep.
And both teams are running that inside out, kick it inside, work it around a bit, and look for that outside 3.
Lauren Herrig into the ball game for Davenport Assumption. 3 minutes gone almost in the 3rd quarter. There's a scramble down there and a battle for it, and Molly Gervais comes out of there with the ball. And here comes Assumption, trailing by 4. Kick it in the middle, but they'll take it back out and rotate it over. Up top to Bailey Brown. She'll shoot the jumper, is good.
And Brown's got it going here with 12.
And she's got 5 of the 7 points here in the 3rd quarter for Assumption. And crossover 3 by Katie Brown. So the second 3 here in the quarter by North Polk. They up the lead to 5.
And that's another big confidence booster for North Polk. Katie Brown also in that first half only saw 1 basket go in. If they start seeing it go down, they'll gain more confidence.
Lob inside. This time it gets through, but the shot is off the side of the basket as the pressure there, and Allie Timmons couldn't convert it. Here comes North Polk. They're on a little bit of a run. They get it stripped away.
Yeah, Timmons couldn't convert that down there, but she's done really well getting positioning down on the block, and that's good because, you know, without establishing that position, there's no way to get the pass in.
Assumption wants to take a timeout to talk this over. They trail now by 5, 34-29 with 3:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. Back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Keep Wells Fargo Arena clean for the next game by tidying up the area around your seats. Grab your
You just have to get their feet here on the pavement and be. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Back to the floor at Wells Fargo Arena. Dar Danielson, Joe Danielson on CISN.TV. North Polk with the ball and a 5-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. We've stretched out what was a 4-point lead just by 1. It's been a little back and forth to start the 3rd, but finding the outside game a little bit, Joe, with a couple threes. Now into the block. Murphy kicks it back inside, and the foul on the shot. Shot doesn't go.
Carolyn Steffen off the nice feed from Murphy down low. Good passing on the block there.
Molly Gervais with the foul, and there's a free throw. Steffen with 7 points now.
That's a big boost from a player who's only averaging a point on the year. And that's what you're going to need in the state tournament is, you know, players that don't typically score a whole lot to step up and make a big impact.
Add a little bit into that to your leading scores. Here's a 3, short. Rebound comes off, though, and battle for it. Shot up no good. There's Herrick. Tried to shoot it all the way down. Phipps goes up and gets the bucket.
Yep, and she brought it in fast that Assumption couldn't get their backs turned to pick her up on defense there. So a nice little run for North Polk here to extend the lead to 9.
Phipps, the freshman, she's got some speed. Now it's taken away again by North Polk. 3-on-2. They come down, kick it outside for 3. Short enough. Air ball as it came in short and rebounded by Bailey Brown. 9-point lead for North Polk here. Outscored them 12-7 in the third. Battled around, batted around, and pulled out of there by Katie Scott. She'll push the issue up the floor. Back outside, Phipps for 3 is short, and going to go out of bounds to Davenport Assumption.
And another long 3 there. Both these teams aren't shy about taking the long 3, though. Though you could just take a couple steps in.
Yeah, it almost seems
there.
like they're almost looking at that red line again, the NBA line, and shooting from there, whereas you're right, a couple steps in and those shots are dropping because they're just dropping a little bit short of the basket.
Right, and the 3-point line is 19 feet, and that red line there is 24 feet 9 inches.
Yeah, so that's a big difference, that extra 5 feet or whatever. And shot goes up, no good by Weislander.
And that is kind of a factor, too. You notice even on the women's collegiate level, it is, I believe, a 20-foot mark.
Mm-hmm.
So still, that line, it does play a big factor.
And driving the foul, and I think that will go against Herrig. We'll see.
Yep, and another really good thing is the sportsmanship that's shown here by all these teams. If a foul, some of the fouls that look a little rough, the players always, they try to help each other up.
And the free throw is good by Katie Brown. And all of a sudden we got a 10-point lead here, and North Polk a chance to add to that. I don't want to overstress it, but we've talked about it, Joe, coming out of the halftime locker room and getting a good start, and we've seen it in a couple games already here, and North Polk is off to a good one here. We'll see if Assumption can respond.
Yep, and the thing about after the nice drive there from Brown, excuse me, Molly Dravas.
Yep.
But the thing about playing a slower tempo like this game has been is that if you get a 10-point lead, the playing at a slow pace makes it harder for the team who's down to get back in it.
Yeah, you build that margin, and then, like we talked about, the offense has just been so methodical that there aren't as many possessions here. So then you got to try to turn it up a notch. 11-point lead here for North Polk with the ball. They're in the dark uniforms. And almost a double team, but she gets out of it.
Grace Jacobson there with some good defense.
Whoa, slips through the defenders and got the shot up, and we're looking for maybe a call, Katie Brown, but not there, and they'll come back the other way with an Assumption. And off the glass, and a foul on the putback.
Hannah Wislander got the strong rebound and went up with it and drew the foul. That's what Assumption needs here. Only a minute left in the third it's
3 on Jaden Murphy, which could be an issue. There's a free throw. Wislander.
Yeah, Murphy, the second leading scorer for the North Polk Comets at right about 14.7 rebounds a game. So rebounding and scoring could be a little bit of a factor for her.
That ends like a 9-point run by North Polk, and cuts the 11-point lead down to 9 here in the third quarter. North Polk with the ball, and under a minute to play.
And I think this is where Coach Albertson likes his team to be, with a 10-point lead.
A little too aggressive there, and the foul called.
But yeah, if you can establish a 10-point lead and just trade baskets at this point, and they'll be sitting good.
Herrick's second, 4th team foul on the Assumption Knights. Here as we're again under A minute to play. Phipps with it up high. And she'll drive. And throws it up. And not the best shot in the world on that one.
Yep,
but
a little bit wild.
Kick back out. Phipps out quickly on defense. And up, put back up. No good. And Assumption, a couple shots at it. Couldn't get one to fall. Here comes Phipps back the other way with it. She'll pull it up, check the clock, and then gets fouled there by Carly Brown, I believe.
Assumption foul number 20, Carly Brown, her second personal.
Second on Carly Brown. That's the 5th team foul now here on Assumption. So those are piling up a little bit. They try to get it in, throw it up, and take it away. Down and misses a shot, partially blocked. There's time if they can get it up the floor. 5 seconds. 3, 2. And oh, got it off just at the buzzer. Almost one too many passes there, but North Polk will take a 40-31 lead into the 4th quarter here, up by 9. And we'll take a break and go back with the 4th quarter after this on CISN.TV.
The Des Moines area is starting to buy trucks at Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Up to $13,000 off MSRP. Select new 17 Ford F-150s. And up to $8,500 off MSRP. Select new 17 Super Duties. Schottenkirk Ford, the truck stop. Up to $13,000 off select new F-150s. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. The truck stops here. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Des Moines area.
Mr. Hometown Clothing Store, the one that had it all, everything to get the work done, all in one place. G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Back at Wells Fargo Arena, we'll go to the 4th quarter here. North Polk with the 40-31 lead, outscored Assumption 14-9 in the 3rd quarter. After leading by 4 at the half, and North Polk gets the ball, Joe, to start the 4th quarter.
Yep, and I think we're going to see more of the same from North Polk so far. They're going to want to slow it down, hold the lead, and trade baskets would be in their favor right now.
Katie Scott with it. Murphy's in there. Phipps for North Polk. There's into Murphy. She drives in and loses a handle, and then
some contact there underneath the hoop, but no call. I think the referee got him stepping out of bounds, so North Polk ball underneath.
Rebecca Lay in there also for North Polk. Comes out high to Katie Scott. She dribbles in and almost loses it. Now over to the baseline. 3 is good by Maggie Phipps. The Shields 3-point play by Maggie Phipps. Assumption gets the rebound off the miss, and then a travel.
Right now is key for both teams here. 7 minutes left. North Polk with a 12-point lead. They're going to look to extend that here.
And timeout North Polk. They want to talk it over a little bit about strategy with that lead.
Yep, and I think Coach Albertson's probably going to draw up a play here to try to get a 2 or a 3 to keep extending that lead.
Here's the replay on the 3-point play there from the corner, and she knew it all the way. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
North Polk will get the ball here after the timeout. They bring it up the floor. And the drive and the runner won't go. Battle on the baseline for the rebound, and it's ripped down there by Wislander. And knocked away by Phipps on the run out. And she gets fouled late.
That's a smart foul by Carly Brown there to kind of just impede her process and make it so the layup wasn't an easy one.
Yep. That's her third personal. And the 6th team foul. Phipps to the line.
So for Assumption, Herring has 2 fouls.
Phipps misses it.
Wislander has 3 fouls, and Brown has 3 fouls. Carly Brown.
Phipps shooting almost 72% for the line, and she's missed both attempts today. Has 8 points. And she pops that one. So lead up to 13.
Phipps again, yeah, in the passing lane for the steal.
Oh, nice behind the back lead and the bucket! What a play by Katie Brown off the assist to Maggie Phipps.
And Brown again almost gets her hands on that one.
And back up. Wislander can't get it. Taken down by North Polk. Knocked out of there. Wislander goes up and draws a foul in the bucket.
And that's just a great effort from Wislander down there. She got about 3 or 4 rebounds to get and stuck with it to get the 2 points and the foul.
Becca Lay with the foul. That's 4 on Lay. Wislander will go to the free throw line. She's got 6 points, could make it 7. She'll shoot 1 here. And hits it. Cuts the lead down to 12. And Assumption wants a quick timeout. We'll take a quick break. Be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Wells Fargo Arena, 6:21 away from deciding who will move on to meet Crestwood, the number 1 seed here. And North Polk so far is hanging on to that lead they built, 1-point lead. And North Polk has the ball here. And full court pressure by Assumption. And then the foul against Phipps. They got to do something here to try to force some turnovers, Joe.
Yep, and the foul is not really what they want here, as they're already in the bonus.
3rd on Herrig. Phipps to the line. Shoot the 1 in the bonus. She'll get the bonus.
That'll put her in at double figures with 10.
And 11 now. She averages 16. Got a slow start. Didn't score until the 3rd quarter. But since then, well, she's got all her points since then. Inside, look to Wislander, and she gets fouled. I think Phipps.
Yep, a nice find there from Bailey Brown at the last minute. Her layup hasn't really been falling on that side, so she dished it off to Wislander.
3rd personal on Phipps. Wislander to the line for 2. And it's that one to go down. See the Davenport Assumption bench there. And here's Wislander with the 2nd free throw. Pops it right through. And back down to 12.
Yep, an Assumption out in the full court press.
Here again, you got to do something because North Polk has been. Oh, there's a turnover right there.
Yep, active hands from Molly Gervais.
Just about to say, we've talked about it. North Polk's offense is deliberate anyway, Joe, and just naturally eating up the clock. And That time they got the turnover, so that helps them.
Yep, and another big possession here for Assumption. They're going to look to get points here to get this back down to 10.
And that'll do it.
And a long
the three, the Shields, three-point play by Bailey Brown. Cuts it down to 9. And timeout there. Let's see if they run the replay. Here it is. Up top, Bailey Brown sets the feet and through the net for the Shields three-point play. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history. This
Iowa Pig Farmers.
Back to action here. North Polk brings it in. Phipps takes it all the way up herself. Stops and then gets the held ball call, and that'll go back to Assumption.
Yep, active hands from Wistlander again here. She's been big the last couple of possessions for the Knights.
So we saw the turnover in the three. Now again, they cut it below double digits. A chance here again for Assumption to cut into this lead. Over on the right side with it. Looking for some action through the middle. Oh, and a little turnover.
A little bit of miscommunication there.
I was just about to say, Joe, that there's plenty of time and you get it below 10, so you don't have to start jacking up threes right away. You had time to work the offense, but that time just a little miscommunication on it. And 5-second call, so they forced the turnover again here by Assumption.
Yep, so they're making up for their little bit of a mental mistake there with a nice defensive stand.
Now they need to convert the turnover into points.
Yep, that's going to be the name of the game here for Assumption going forward.
Top. Bailey Brown over to Gervais. She dribbles in, kicks it out for three. No good. And the rebound by Brown underneath. She puts up the three. No good. Rebound Wislander. She drives in, puts it up, can't get it to go. Back up, and then the foul. Well, some tenacious action. 3 shots at it, Joe.
Yep, Lauren Herrig went up strong there after getting that rebounded to 3 defenders.
Phipps picks up personal number 4.
She's been big for them, just advancing the ball also, being able to break that press.
2 points now for Herrick, both of them on free throws. And misses the second one, and a foul on the rebound on Wislander. And so we'll come to the other end and shoot. Wislander, her third, I believe, 8th team foul. So Phipps will go to the line to shoot.
Maggie Phipps will shoot 1. First foul substitution for North Polk, number 10, Becca Lay.
Becca Lay coming back into the game here for North Polk.
With 4 personals, so Phipps has 4, Lay has 4.
And Wislander also has 4.
And Phipps at the line. Hits it. And that's a 13-point for Phipps. All of those coming here in the second half. And back up to a 10-point lead. 3 is short and pulled down by who else? Phipps. And we'll see what, oh, knocked away. And Phipps goes down hard, is down on the floor. And gets up gingerly, shot up no good, and the rebound comes down to North Polk. And they call time to check on Phipps. And they want the coach to check her. She might have hit her. They're going to see if she hit her head or not.
Yep, she's running not really that gingerly now. Maybe
no,
just
she's
a little
moving a little better
there.
Yeah. Well, when you got a 10-point lead and you here in the fourth quarter and you've been helping your team, then get that adrenaline. Now she gets a pass up. And nice look for Lay underneath.
Yep, a textbook press break there. Find the cutter running up the middle, kick it out, and then for the layup.
The layup for Lay, and that makes it back up to a 12-point lead. Drive by Assumption, knocked out of there to Phipps. Phipps will drive. And offensive, that'll be Phipps' fifth. Yep, she'll go to the bench with 5.
We've got an injury down on the court here.
Foul number 32, Maggie Phipps. That's her 5th personal foul.
Yeah, she ran into.
She's replaced by number 21, Katie Brown.
Katie Brown comes in. The player she ran into down there on the offensive foul. I was just thinking that, Joe, with her 4, she needs to be a little careful on that, and then she picks up the offensive foul. And this still could be big because Phipps has been handling the ball a lot for him on that press.
Yep, and she's been doing a good job also. And
so they get the player up over there.
It's Molly Gervais. It helped off
Gervais
here.
coming up, yep. Took some heavy contact there, and they're going to take her out of the game. And hopefully she's all right. And we'll get back to action here. So it will be Assumption's ball, down by 12. Under 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Dribble drive in, bounce underneath. Wislander can't get it to go. In there against Murphy, and then the foul called.
And that'll put North Polk at the line here. Already Assumption with their 9th team foul.
And who did they call that on? I don't know who they called it on, but Becca Lay will be the free throw line. Hits the free throw, so she'll get one more. She's got 6 points. You saw Phipps over there on the bench next to her coach, and she's going to have to watch the final minutes of this one. And Wislander takes it up and gets fouled. And if that's against Murphy, that would be 4 on her. So Lay and Murphy in there with 4 for North Polk. Wislander hits the free throw. So well, they've got that 13-point lead. The fouls are becoming an issue here for North Polk. And make it a 12-point lead. And Abby Zimmer back in for North Polk. Katie Scott with it. Driving runner, is going to get the bounce and go. There for Zimmer.
By Abby Zimmer.
How about Zimmer, Joe, coming off the bench and hitting the big shot, and there's a three.
Yep, quick three from Bailey Brown, and she connects again.
Shields' three-point play. And timeout call by North Polk, coach.
Yep, and you kind of see Phipps' absence right there on the press break, a little bit hectic.
Yeah, we'll keep it here. That's one of the things coach is going to talk to him about, you know. You still got an 11-point lead. Let's not get crazy here. Let's come down and work the ball and work the clock, and if they're going to foul us, we'll step to the free throw line.
Yep, and they've both teams in the bonus here, so points, free throws will stop the clock.
No, Becca Lay with 4 personals and Jaden Murphy with 4 personals for North Polk. We'll see how they do here in the final 2:35. If they can stay in there, and if Assumption can make the run back. They lob it out deep to Katie Scott. Herrig over. Katie Brown back across. Almost a dangerous pass there. And now they're going to have to come out in man-to-man. They've been playing zone quite a bit.
Yep, no hurry here for the Comets.
And the thing is, they'll be in the double bonus if they do foul. North Polk will get 2 shots from the free throw line. And that may be on Wislander.
So they drained 30 seconds off the clock there on that possession. Then they'll go to the line here to try to get some more, add on some points.
And Wislander fouls out.
Timmons will come in to replace her.
Wislander goes to the bench with 2:02 to play. So the second player to foul out. Phipps is fouled out for North Polk. There's a free throw, is good by Zimmer. Zimmer with 6 points. And again, just a little bit of contribution off the bench, Joe. Misses a second one. Herrig brings it down. Trailing by 12. Davenport Assumption fans are saying shoot it, but you're better off to try to get an open shot than just to jack it up.
Yep, North Polk's hounding defense here.
Yeah, they aren't giving many open looks, are they, right now? There's a 3 air balls. And Bailey Brown, though, felt she had to put that up. Becca Lay back in there with her 4 personals. Katie Scott dribbles through, and North Polk just going to hold it out there. Well, now they go down inside, and there's a hard foul, but Allie Timmons helps her up. Are they get it to Herrig? It's 4th on Herrig. And Katie Brown will shoot 2. Hits it. She's got 11 points. And gets the second one.
Yep, and she never set her feet down, stepped over the line on the inbounds. Well, it'll get the ball back to North Polk.
So a turnover there. And that could just about seal the fate here of Assumption, as they will foul Katie Scott.
And North Polk just keeps on grinding here.
And Katie Scott does not have a 37.5% free throw percentage. I don't think she shot very many, though. But she hits that one.
Yep, Scott, the smallest player on the court here at 5'2".
He gets both free throws. 7 points. Here's Assumption. Trying to go inside. They do. And miss and pulled down by Murphy. And she'll come down and shoot.
Yep, so free throws here definitely playing a factor in extending North Polk's lead.
So number 23, Alex Timmons, her third person. Jaden Murphy at the line shooting 2.
Jaden Murphy to shoot 2. Hits that one.
Substitution for Assumption, number 32, Corey Whitlock, replacing Brayden Brown.
And the second one is good. We got, what, 11 for Jaden Murphy. Back out for 3 and misses, and the rebound pulled down by Lay. And
North Polk's going to take a timeout and clear their bench.
Clear the bench and get some new players in there as the outcome pretty well sealed right now with the 18-point lead. We'll take a quick break and come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Back at Wells Fargo Arena, Sierra McLeod in there for North Polk, Hannah Foster in, also Danielle Bonowitz. And there's Foster. We'll get you run down the rest of them. Sydney Allball is in. And there's a foul. And Callie Hoppert in for North Polk as Timmons gets her 4th personal. And North Polk's going to go on and meet Crestwood on Thursday. That's the free throw misses. And again, Joe, a big third quarter where they came out and kind of stretched things out, and what had been a tight ball game is kind of what has done it here for North Polk, the Comets.
Yep, they kept grinding and they kind of wore down the Knights to expand this lead up to 19.
And pulled down. Herrig misses it. Rebounded by Allball. And up the floor. 3, no good. And a foul on the rebound there.
Also, North Polk's number 40, Sierra McLeod, her first personal. At the line for Assumption, number 13, Olivia Wardlow. Shooting the bonus.
Olivia Wardlow.
So shoot 1.
Will shoot 1.
And 1 more.
And another one. And it's good. And the clock winding down here.
Jump ball.
And jump ball.
Possession North Polk.
as they try to get it in and run out the final seconds. There's a scramble for it, and it's booted down off the floor. With 1.5 seconds to play, it's going to stay with.
Yeah, boy, you're just kind of hoping that you don't get a collision there.
Yeah, yeah.
3 seconds left and an injury.
There's a 3 at the buzzer. And 64-47. North Polk will advance to face top seed Crestwood on Thursday at 5 o'clock. And you see the happy North Polk team there. As I'll try to pull up the stats here and get a look at rundown on the stats of this one. But let's take a quick break before we do that. We'll do that and be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
It has become something of a lost art. Remembering someone's face. Remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
Is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Back here at Wells Fargo Arena, the final, 64-47. North Polk over Davenport Assumption. Run down the scoring for you quickly for Assumption. Bailey Brown led him with 18. Hannah Wislander with 11. 8 for Carly Brown. 4 for Allie Timmons. 3 for Carolyn Crosby. 1 for Lauren Herrick. 2 for Olivia Wardlow. For North Polk, they were led by Maggie Phipps with 13. Katie Brown with 12. Jaden Murphy with 11. 7 for Becca Lay, 6 for Katie Scott, 6 for Abby Zimmer, 1 for Danielle Bonowitz, 8 for Carolyn Steffen. And it was North Polk 10-9 after 1, 26-22 at the half, 40-31 after 3, and then 64-47. And should be a good matchup, North Polk and Crestwood Thursday in the semifinal, Joe.
Yep, North Polk really balanced scoring effort here tonight, and they just kind of almost opposite styles between Crestwood, which is much faster, played a little faster earlier, and North Polk played a little bit slower today and grounded out for the win.
All right, well, that's the final here. 64-47, North Polk advances in the Class 3A quarterfinals. Clear Lake Monticello coming up next on CISN.TV.
Thanks for watching our live coverage of the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network. You can check CISN.TV for a replay of this game. The free coverage of today's game was presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers, and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
And there's a travel. I expect